always nice to get out of the house once in a while. So I'm currently at work, and I got a big gap between clients, and I saw that Shudder had released The Shed, a movie that has been out for a while, but I just never had gotten a hold of a copy and never saw it on, Amazon Prime or Netflix or anything. So when I saw it was on there, I was like, all right, it's time to do this. And I was very unaware that this was a vampire movie, but that is what it is. So this has Frank Whaley in the opening for about 4 seconds so that they can say, hey, Frank Whaley's in this. And it is about a vampire that locks themselves in a shed, I guess, and decides to just never leave. It could have left at night, but I guess it just stays in there. And because I assume that the kid just so happens to find it the day that it goes in the shed, or maybe that's where it hangs out during the day. It never finds a new location. But anyway, a kid finds that he has a vampire in a shed outside. And so he locks it in there, and his friend gets this idea that they're going to get revenge on the kids that have been bullying them in school by taking them to the shed with the vampire inside of it and feeding it to them. And the other, the kid who locks him in there doesn't really want to do that. His friend is just extremely pissed off, wants vengeance, and so that all plays out. I didn't really like this movie very much, unfortunately. It was very well shot. It looked pretty damn good, but there just was so many problems I had within the film while watching it that I could never get into it. Rocky acting was a culprit. Unlikable characters was another one. Dialogue was rough. This was probably, I don't know if it was my biggest issue, but it was up there. You know how they throw in those stereotypical characters, like he has a grandfather that's always like, you listen to me, boy, and these kids today, they don't have respect, and these kids today, and you're like, oh, stop, please. And then the sheriff is the same way. It's like, you listen here, boy. You got yourself in a heap of trouble now. You just listen here, boy. And it's like nobody fucking talks like that. Nobody fucking talks like that. And the bullies and all that stuff are just very stereotypical, and I can't take them seriously because they're total pussies. And it's just that kind of stuff, and when you're watching it, I could not get myself into it. Character decisions are not great. It just, everything felt very stock. Nothing felt unique. The only thing that the film really had going for it was the concept of the vampire in the shed, which I just don't feel is utilized all that well. When it finally kind of comes to a head, things are handled very quickly, very swiftly. There was only a couple movements in the movie that I actually enjoyed, or was like, oh, that was kind of fun. The chick who plays Roxy's pretty hot. I mean, I'm looking for positives here. I'm kind of coming up short, but I just didn't enjoy my time with this one, which was kind of a shame because I really was rooting for this one. It was lower budgeted. The guy who directed this directed a bunch of horror shorts that I respect and like. So I was really pulling for this one. At the end, I saw it was edited by Mike Mendez. Now, I don't know if that's the same Mike Mendez from Don't Kill It, and from The Grave Dancers, and from The Convent, Mike Mendez. But I would assume, because it's from the producers of Saw, and because the director has a decently recognizable name in the horror community, that actually is. But man, this was not a fun watch for me. I was not a fan, and definitely not a recommendation from me. But if you do watch it, it is on Shudder as of, I think, today or yesterday. So let me know. And what do you guys think of the scenery out here? This is where I always try to show off where I live, but there you go. This is not the best view we got, but it's nice. A little bit better of scenery than just a couch, right? Anyways, adios.